This is a rush hour in Roade. It's almost every hour.
Despite Roade being called Roade, most of the villagers here would probably prefer this road not to actually go through their village, and this is the reason why.
Juggernauts, vans and cars squeeze along the A508 between Northampton and Stony Stratford every day, causing chaos. The villagers would love a bypass, but instead they've got a speed warning sign. There are, of course, more tranquil parts to Roade. And tucked away at the back of the village high street is an architectural gem, Candida Cottage, once owned by the famous Northampton model railway maker Bassett Loke. He asked the Scottish architect Charles René Mackintosh to redesign his country cottage in Roade with larger windows and a loggia. In fact, Mackintosh only worked on 2 houses in the whole of England, in Roade and Northampton. Bassett Loke was so wealthy, he even had his own path that went from his house to the nearby railway station. Unfortunately, the station was pulled down in 1964, but trains still come thundering past on the West Coast Main Line. Back in 1834, though, when this section of the line was built, it was a massive technological feat.
It took 1,000 men and boys working 24 hours a day for 4 years to build this cutting, which runs for 1.5 miles and in places is 65 feet deep. It rode through to Blisworth. 3,000 barrels of gunpowder were used to blast away the rock and clay.
Yeah, so what was it like?
One of those workers was Sidney Humphrey's great-grandfather.
My great-grandfather, Jesse Jackson, who was a farm labourer at Salford in Bedfordshire, came to work at Roade on the cutting, because if you worked on the cutting, the wages were very much better than the ordinary farm labourer's wages. In fact, he worked on the cutting when they brought all the family to Roade eventually, and they never moved away.
Sid actually lives in the same house that Jesse did all those years ago. Pear Tree Cottage is 286 years old, and the tree is still growing strong. Inside, though, there's a tree of a different sort. Sid has followed his family's history back to 1066. But what has Roade got to offer now? Well, there's the hostelries, a first-class restaurant and some shops. There's the highly regarded Roade School and Sports College, and for the younger generation there's a recreation ground. But what is there by way of entertainment for the older teenagers in a village with little over 2,500 people?
There's not a great deal of amount of things for young people to do. There's, well, sitting around in the garden having a drink and something to eat.
Personally, I love living in the village because it's countryside and everything, and I live on a farm anyway, but when you're here, you often wish there's more to do.
Unlike many villages, Roade has very low unemployment rates. Piano 40, which used to supply piano parts, has diversified into car components and employs 350 people. And since Milton Keynes or Northampton are only a stone's throw away, villagers don't have to commute far for good jobs. Karl Heidel, Anglia News, Roade.